guys, welcome to another episode of Toke Moments. My name is Toke Makinwa. It's another Wednesday and of course it's vlog time. Today is very interesting because a couple of weeks ago I had the vlog with Bosun where we talked about why people are breaking up, basically why the rise of breakup is what we hear about daily. Now when I posted that on my Instagram page, my very good friend Deyemi Okonlawo, who is an actor, I always say to Deyemi, I think he also needs a career in radio because he's got such a solid masculine voice. This is how it sounds.
No, I don't.
But you're doing
fake.
it.
It's fake.
You're doing it.
I promise you it's fake. I actually sound like this.
I think you should definitely be like a love doctor on the radio show. But if you decide to do that
on the
radio, you would
think?
have such a massive following, and people calling every night and want to tell you what their boyfriends did. Because everyone's always looking for an agony aunt, but then this time around it's like Doctor Deyemi, whatever.
It happens in real life anyway. So,
I know.
Yeah.
So we talked about why the rise of breakup, and I remember you left a comment on my Instagram page, which is what made me hit you up, because I admit I don't know it all. I'm very opinionated about certain things. Because I feel like sometimes we are the sum of our experiences,
right.
And you go through certain things and they shape you, and you can speak on certain things because you've either been through it or watched someone who's gone through it. Now that being said, your comment struck a chord because you did say that the problem is not with love itself, but with our generation.
It's our generation's definition of love.
Okay, so you enlighten me on what that means?
And so first of all, I actually saw just a clip on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then I went back and I watched the entire clip. In fact, I've been watching your videos for a while.
Thank you.
Then I subscribed for the first time
Yay!
after watching this. Again, I agreed with a lot of things that you put in there, but I just wanted to tweak this just a little bit. Where you said love is not enough, and Bosun agreed with you. And I thought maybe not. And look, fortunately, and by the grace of God, I have managed to remain married for the past 6 years.
6 years.
6
Wow.
years. And only this year last year, did I begin to understand certain truths. And you can imagine the kind of issues that would have come up.
I think with marriage, the first 5 years are usually the hardest.
Oh my.
When I was getting married, shout out to you, Daddy, my dad said to me, the first 5 years, hell. He said, some people are lucky. It's the first 2 years.
Yes.
After 2 years, they find their way. But just give it 5 years. After 5 years, if you guys don't kill each other, you guys are fine. Unfortunately, mine didn't work out. And I'm happy that yours was 6 years. Let me tell you the reason why I said love is not enough. I quite like to think that like is greater than love. That to like someone is greater than to love someone. Because there are many people in our lives that we love that we can't stand.
You see,
We're
that's where the problem is.
bound to love them because one, maybe they're family, maybe, there are people that, we just can't help but love. We're just bound to love these people. But there are people that you love but you don't necessarily like. But there are people that,
I totally hear you.
if you like someone, you would always like the person.
I agree. But here's the deal.
Okay.
And I'm saying this purely out of my limited experience. What I discovered was that we focus too much on the emotions. The butterflies in your tummy, when you touch me, and I remember that from the video, when you touch me, this euphoria and all that. And I began to understand that there is a different kind of love. There's a love that depends not on your emotions, but on your decision. You see, when you say, what you need is commitment and you need no, there's a love that has all these definitions already inside of it.
Really?
Yes, there is. It's a commitment, it's a love that says, you know what, I accept you and all your flaws exactly
But
as you are.
that sounds like news and bones.
No.
It sounds like
It's
we
not even-
literally accept you, but do we really accept it? Do we really accept the fact that that person is probably a murderer?
Come on, that's extreme.
It might be
Okay.
extreme. But I'm saying, where do we draw the line with acceptance?
So here's the deal. You come into relationships sometimes with expectations, and then you learn, to leave some of those expectations behind. I got married and I thought, because I'm a certain kind of person, set goals, do certain things and move in certain ways. I expected the same thing from my partner, and I thought I saw things like that. And eventually we got married, and it wasn't exactly as it was, and it caused a lot of friction. You see, many years later, I got to a point where we had gone through the fights and the try to cajole and try to do different things. Yeah, those fights. But those fights.
Those fights that you have that you think you're literally gonna break up. Those fights that you think that I can never talk to this person after this. I am definitely. And those, why do you men do this? I have to ask you.
What?
Before you marry us, A man can say anything,
Yes.
you know, and you will beg, you know, because it feels like we have a choice. Because after you say, I'm not doing anymore, you go home. The moment you marry, I had some fights that I'm like, I'm packing my shoes, and the nigger is not even saying, don't go. He's like, oh, okay, that's the door.
See,
And then you
there
drive
are
around the
teething-
estate
it's
for a
teething-
bit and ask yourself,
it's
child,
teething problems.
he's really not
It's
going to
really
beg
teething
me.
problems. Look, I'm at the place where right now I'm more in love with my wife than I was when I got married to her.
Oh,
And this is after 2 children. You know what I'm saying? So it got to a point where I really just decided, you know what? I accept you, really accept you, the version of you that you are right now. But I hope for a better version of you. And I'm ready to be there to support that better version if it ever comes out. However, if it doesn't, you know, I'm good with you.
All these things that are happening today have always happened. The difference is a lot of our parents did us a disservice. A lot of our parents lied to us. We were with parents who were separated but living in the same
Like
home.
Yoruba.
Okay.
Taba biomo, atunraibi.
What do you mean by that?
Means that when you give birth to a child, the child has a responsibility to rebirth him or herself, or his or herself. Now, no matter what our parents have done or not done, we cannot lay the blame on them now that we've come to an age of consciousness.
No, but let me tell you what I
awareness.
meant by that. I don't think you heard me fully. I feel like in a lot of homes, most especially our mothers, you know, and I say this to my mom all the time, they did not tell us or paint the full picture of what marriage
they didn't.
is. All the young girl's life, she sees her father as a superhero.
Right.
And she marries a man who does not match up to her father. But her mother refused to tell her that your father was not exactly a superhero,
You
he was also a
you
bastard.
don't think that they went through the same issue? That they looked at their parents and realized that, wait a minute, our parents didn't tell us the truth.
No, in their parents' time, they were just matchmade. Like, a lot of them married strangers.
Hold
and they
on.
got to find out who they were married to in the marriages.
But you're still in the marriage. You see, marriage is like a pressure cooker, okay? And depending on the content of what's inside you get something good come out or something really nasty come out. And I find that marriage wisens people. You see, you can have all these fairy tale ideas of what marriage is supposed to be. Sister, when you get there, right, and you see the truth, you can either accept it or you fight it.
In those days, a lot of mothers they depended on the men for every single thing. You raised your daughter, spent so much money sending her to school, developed her mentally, socially, emotionally, and, you know, she becomes her own woman. Now she marries a man who wants to treat her the way he watched his father treat his mother. It cannot work there, because at the end of the day, she's sitting there thinking, my mother may not have had a choice because she probably was match-made. She married you not knowing who you were. The pressure cooker thing you said worked in her parents' generation but cannot work today. It doesn't mean that it's a lack of love being defined or is love being defined wrongly. It just means that men need to go up as well. You need to talk to the guys.
So hold up. I think that we're missing something very crucial here.
Okay.
You see, these things that were told to us growing up were told to the women and told to the men. Women were told, you're a certain type of way, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that.
A lot of men were not told anything. They were just let to run around do anything they want to do.
We were told to be a real man, it means that you're paying the bills, you're doing this, you're that. If your masculinity depends on the material things that you can bring, then I'm sorry, you know, you're not really a man, you're a child with toys, you know? So I think that we should realize that both sexes have been done a great disservice. And then we should start having conversations from there. Male and female, he created them.
Yeah.
Now we understand that there is no male and female in the spirit realm. Now God created man and put him to work. And then he looked at man and said,
It's not good for man to be by
good for man
himself.
to be by. Well, hold on. He said, I think God looked at man and he said, this guy needs help. Let's send him a helpmeet, not a helper, not a house help, a
helpmeet is
meat
to
that
help.
matches, that meets, the word meet, that matches up to the task at hand. So it's not a weaker sex type of issue.
I
It's
agree.
an equally productive human being that would help him achieve or collectively achieve their goals. Going anywhere, every day I wake up in the morning, I get that feeling of, hey, I love this person, okay? And then there's with
Do you
my
think
wife.
that there are many people who are working jobs that they don't love, and they're working the jobs because of certain reasons. One, the pay might be good. Two, because they've been doing this for so long, they don't know what else to do, but they're not in love with what they're doing.
Yeah.
You're lucky to be passionate and in love with what you do for a living.
Yes.
But there's certain people who it pays the bills and couldn't get it done anyways. You could do the worst thing to someone and you guys will make it past it. And it might now be just the way she wakes up one day and just says, I hate the color of his shirt. Why am I married to him? And that's it. So I feel like it's a constant choice we choose.
Right.
Loving somebody is a choice that you make. That choice is not love.
Loving.
Well, maybe we're saying the same thing. In fact, like, it's a choice you make to love someone. You
Right.
can choose to,
You can choose to.
and you can decide not to.
Right.
Right?
And in that choosing, you have a source of being in love, of having these feelings.
So being in love is a feeling.
Cemented
Because you're
by-
like, love is not a
by
feeling,
making-
right?
I don't think love is a feeling.
Oh, I definitely think it is.
No.
But we can agree to disagree. I definitely still think love is not enough to be with someone. I think that it takes a couple of things to make two people stay together. At some point, when you marry somebody, that love is not even what keeps you guys together. It's friendship. Because
Right.
you guys can go through 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks without even kissing each other.
Right.
Not because you don't love each other, but because life happens. And some days, you know, you walk up the stairs and you can't wait to see your lover because you're like, I can't believe I have you in my life. What would my life be like without you?
Right.
And some days you wake up and think, well, where is the escape route? It's like, how the hell am I married to this person?
But then there's a decision you made to say, I'm not going anywhere. We're going to make sure whatever
True.
kinks come, we'll
True.
work through it.
So-
So a lot of people who shouldn't even be married, who are married, you've not done the work on yourself to be an individual, right? An independent person who has who's progressive and has goals in life and things they want to do. And you're already looking for who to, for want of words, latch on to. You know, there is so much more. And people need to, first of all, develop themselves into people who are ready to be in that kind of relationship.
For anyone who wants to get married, you've heard it from DME, like I said, I don't know it, or I personally believe that love is strange. I think it's just one of those things that, you know, we continue to learn about
every
as
day.
we grow. Yeah. But before we let you go, we have a game to play. We're going to play some charade, just because we can. So I'm going to put this box on your head. You can't see what's on it, so you're going to carry it.
You put it like here.
Yeah, but you
I
can't
it.
see.
I can't
Don't
see it.
look down.
I can't see it.
Okay, cool. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So it's this is charade, and it's a
Film. 2 words.
yeah.
First word is fly, bird, bird box.
Guys, the pressure is on because DME got that in less than 10 seconds. So here we go. A boy, girl. Okay. 2 words. DME 10 seconds. What the fuck is wrong with you? First word. Fly. Listen. For you, come on. What the hell is wrong with you? Tell me. Heart, body, beautiful, Kim Kardashian. How do you explain like that?
What the hell? What was I supposed to say? How do you say Kim? Tell me Kim.
You could have
You
said
only-
so many things.
Like what? Like what? And I couldn't see
maybe
anything.
like reality TV show.
How was I
You
gonna
could've
say
done,
really?
when I said TV show screen, maybe like reality. Oh shit. it's
How?
hard. But I
How?
made yours easy.
But I did it. It's like and you got it.
I still believe love is not enough because I feel there's so many factors that goes into loving someone, and until you get those things down, you know, you probably don't have anything. All right, guys, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Twitter. I am a Tokestar with a double arrow till I come your way again. Goodbye. God bless you.
Bye.